What's blazing, gents? And welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. We are here with another seasonal championship, this time 90s icons, a Subaru 22B. This is named after a car that you can win, and we have to use a Subaru in the B class. I'm using the BRZ. Because why not? We rarely enough use that. So this is the one that I am using. It's relatively inexpensive, which is another reason why I picked it. And the tuning shell code is in the description, as always. And I'd say we jump right into it. So... Right, come on, load into race number 1. The BRZ is a cool car. I actually quite like it. Is that the 2022 one? The one ahead of us. That one right there. Looks like it. Alright, we went for a little bit more power in this tune. But I avoided going for the drag wheel one, which gives us even more power, which, you know, it's fine, but we don't need to go completely overboard. We would probably already be in the lead and maybe also off the road had we gone for that. So while I went for some power, I definitely still wanted to make sure that we still have something controllable. It's funny because I got a comment last week on the Ford that I picked that the handling is horrible, but the power makes up for it. That's kind of the idea that was behind that. And we could have gone for that here as well, but I didn't want to make it too extreme. Again, you can do it, go for drag tires, and it's okay, but especially in street racing where you want a little bit more handling. Not entirely sure that's the correct thing. But to each their own, really. I just prefer to have a little bit of handling at least. Although in B class you can make an argument more power. And you can just handle it by driving sort of good. But it's okay. We do what we do. I mean, technically you can go for race tires on this thing, but you really don't need it. We're talking about an S1 class car. Not S1, a B class car. S1 was before and with the elites. Where did go for race tires, at least for the speed zone. Because of one handling and fast cornering speed, and that helped. We are in a very comfortable lead, so I guess that tune does its job. For a change, once again, we can use something that actually gets us to the 700 rating. Last week we had one of these exceptions where we went for a tune that doesn't get us to the maximum with this buggy thing that we used. I forgot what it was called. At this cross-country championship, where I think that was one of the better ideas to do that. And I'm surprised that it didn't get more views, actually, because I thought more people are struggling with this championship. And we're finding the correct tune for it, but apparently not so much, but it's okay. Alright, that finishes race number 1. I very much expect 60 points. Would be somewhat shocked if we don't get that. Go with this. It's 22k that we get. This could actually be one of those championships where buying the car and the tune is roughly offset with the prize money. Because the car is relatively inexpensive and the tune shouldn't be too bad. I don't recall, because I already had a B-class tune, so I probably already had some of the parts that I would have had to buy otherwise. That's fine. Las Afueras. I don't recall that name. Good track. Using our minor but existent power advantage to drive past everything. And we also have a weight advantage, which also helps. Also helps us in the corners here. Everyone going wide. That was a tight corner. It's understandable. We also had some struggles getting it correct. Don't particularly enjoy driving around that thing, but it's okay. Up there and then around the corner. It was a little bit more hard braking than was absolutely necessary, I believe. What is this road here? Seemed gravelly, if that's even a word. Let's go down there. Come on! Go. Okay, can we maybe split that? No, just go to the back. I was considering going past on the right side, but then he was turning right and it was already too late, so... Oh well, went for a collision there, but could be worse. Especially driving into the rear is not so bad because we're going into the same direction, so that worse driving head on. But when you're coming from behind it, it's not bad. Doesn't cost you too much. It's not that painful, so you can live with that, right? There we go. Oh no. A little far here. It's another one of these tight corners. This is a track with many tight corners. Oh, some of these are way behind. Some wreckage points, eh? Just here now. It feels like there is a little bit more traffic than in your usual race. Maybe that's just a feeling. 90% of the race done, so that should be 40 points in the bag. And it's just a straight line to finish. So it's 40 points in the bag, and that means we have a pretty comfortable position for the last race. Although judging by how the first two races went, I would very, very much assume that we are talking about 60 points here. Hey, we have a 14-point lead. This is very comfortable. Where's the last race? Right here. Oops. There are so many new races as well, and new accolades and stuff, but I just don't play the game anymore, so... I considered making some hide and seek videos, but then I saw like snippets of what it is, and it seemed so... unfun. So... I don't really want to play it. Maybe that's a way to put it. But hey, I don't know. Maybe it's fun, I don't know. Coast run, race number 3, there we go. Should be a good one, right? Weaseling through, cutting that checkpoint. Oh. Would have liked using the new WRX, but I actually think this is a better one. Slider, it's fine. It's cool, alright. And that's an overtake. I don't even know if you can buy the new WRX. And it's also pretty darn expensive if you can. I think the price that it showed was $220? Something like that. And that's a bit much for WRX, right? I think 220 is what it showed in the car list, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just a placeholder price because you can't buy it anyway. I'm not entirely sure. Didn't check, didn't care. Went for this one. Because the thing is, even if it's available at the auto show, I wouldn't have picked it at that price. I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct price, but it was a price where I thought, nah, let's not do that. Because that's another thing I try to consider is, okay, I'll probably get new people watching these videos, because a lot of the experienced ones probably don't use these videos anymore, but a lot of the new people coming into the game, they probably don't have that amount of money, so we're still maybe a little bit tight on credits, and then maybe having a solution that doesn't cost as much is probably helpful. So yeah. For the UK thing as well, I checked several cars, but some were only available with the car pass, others are not available at the auto show at all. And so many issues where finding a correct car, and then I just went for the leaks. Right. We are close to finishing race number 3. That's, I don't even see anyone. Oh, there they are. Saw them on the map shortly. But yeah, it's quite a big lead. Again. Finishing race number 3, that's 60 points, and that's exactly what we envisioned when we started race number 1, correct? So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, farewell.